Many times it's the great speed, the obvious athleticism, or the size and strength of a high school athlete that sets them apart. And then sometimes it's those players who don't really stand out in any one of those areas who end up being known as outstanding players when all is said and done. Our first Hall of Famer this year was never known for his foot speed or jumping ability, and he wasn't considered an impressive physical specimen. Yet he was able to use what his coach termed as top-notch leadership abilities and intelligence to become the most prolific passer in Homer High School football history and a 3-year regular and part of a regional championship on the hardwood. Stan Burton was thrust into the role of quarterback partway through his sophomore season, and 2.5 years later he graduated with just about every passing record at Homer High, throwing for twice as many career yards as any other HHS signal caller. While also setting records for passing yards in a game, passing yards in a season, touchdown passes in a season, and touchdown passes in a career.
Stan was not blessed with speed, but he was very smart, and he knew his limitations. He was a great leader, I thought, with the team. He could throw the ball. He didn't have a great arm, but we had good receivers. And I think his mentality was his really forte. He kept the team together. And, that team went 5-4, lost 3 of those 4 games by a total of 11 points. Yeah, it was a heartbreak type of year.
Stan's a guy that's always had positions that were considered like the toughest position on the team. He was the pitcher on the baseball team. He's the quarterback on the football team. In basketball, he's on the floor as a sophomore, and then junior, senior year, one of the co-captains of the team. And he's always been in a position where he's had to make tough decisions, and a lot of those decisions come. We look towards Stan to be one of the guys that helps make decisions, and he was really good at taking that leadership role, stepping up, making a tough decision when we really needed somebody to make that decision. And the guy was calm under pressure. He'd be in some difficult situations on the field in the field of battle, and he'd just keep everybody level-headed, calm. He'd call the play in the huddle. He'd say the right thing on the floor, but the guy was calm under pressure, which helped everybody else in those games where we had some difficult challenges ahead. He'd get us all calmed down.
The 6-foot center also managed to play well above his height on the basketball court, again breaking into the regular rotation as a sophomore and being one of the team's top 2 rebounders and scorers his final 2 seasons.
Yeah, Stan was a very solid player. He was always in the 1 or 2 on the rebounding stat sheet. And you'd look at the guy, as you're mentioning, 6 foot tall. He was 6 foot tall pretty much as a sophomore and junior year, and he stayed the same height. We thought he might be about 6'6" when we saw his dad Jack, but he never really got that sprout in his height. But the guy was fundamentally, he positioned himself, even though his tennis shoes might only go this far off the ground. He had a way, he was a strong guy, he had a way of putting the right elbows out, putting the body out, getting in front of the guy and pulling down that rebound. And he was he was a real competitor. So I wouldn't say he had a mean streak, but I'd just say that he was a real competitor. He got on that floor and he wanted to make sure he's pulling down that rebound. And if he needed to give an extra body move, an extra poke, Stan to make that happen. So yeah, he's the kind of guy you wanted on the floor under the hoop, even though he's only 6 foot. You wanted him under that hoop pulling that rebound down. Well, I guess when I talk about Stan or think about Stan as an athlete, and really as a student too, he's always been a great leader. He's shown leadership from the time he was a Little League player and was the #1 pitcher on the team. I mean, the guy's got great leadership skills, and he carried that through all the way through high school, and I think was a big part of his success and got the rest of us to follow him.